Hey, so let's talk. If you've ever stared at your retirement options and felt like you needed a PhD in some sort of ancient decoder ring just to figure it out, well, you've come to the right place. Today, we are going to clear up all the confusion around the two heavyweights in the retirement world, the 401k and the Roth IRA.
I mean, it is a total alphabet soup, isn't it? You hear all these acronyms, 401k, IRA, Roth, SEP, Simple, and it's enough to make you think that maybe, just maybe, winning the lottery is a more straightforward plan. But trust me, stick with me for a bit and we are going to get this all sorted out.
Let's just be real for a second. For most of us, picking a retirement account feels like you're at the very start of a Pokemon game. Some expert tells you to just choose one, but you have no clue which one is going to grow into a financial powerhouse and which one is, just going to be a Magikarp, splashing around doing nothing. Don't worry, we're going to find your Charizard today.
Okay, so before we get to choosing your starter, let's talk about the first and most important, absolutely non-negotiable golden rule. This is the first quest you have to complete on your journey. Look, I really cannot stress this enough. If your company offers a 401k match, you need to think of that as a 100% return on your money, instantly. Turning that down, it's literally like seeing a bag of cash on the sidewalk with your name on it and just walking right past it. We don't do that, not here. So, your first mission, should you choose to accept it, is super simple. Step 1, go find out what your company's matching formula is. Step 2, you contribute at least enough to get every single penny of that match. This comes before anything else, before paying extra on student loans, before other investing. It's free money. Do not leave it on the table. So what does this usually look like in the real world? Well, most companies will match somewhere between 4 to 6% of your salary. A super common way they do it is they'll match 50 cents for every dollar you put in, up to 6% of your pay. So if you put in 6%, they kick in an extra 3%. That's an immediate 50% return on your money. You are not going to beat that anywhere else. All right, so once you've grabbed all that free money, you have officially leveled up to the next stage, the great tax battle. This right here is the heart of the whole traditional versus Roth debate. And really, it all comes down to one question. Do you want to pay your taxes now, or would you rather pay them later? And to make this really, really clear, let's use my absolute favorite analogy for this, the seed versus the harvest. I want you to think of your retirement savings like a little financial farm. You're planting seeds today, your contributions, that are hopefully going to grow into a giant forest of money for future you. The only question is, when does Uncle Sam come by to get his share? So let's start with planting the seeds. If you go with a traditional 401k or IRA, you're planting with pre-tax dollars. Now, this is awesome because it actually lowers your taxable income today. You get an immediate tax break on the seeds as you're planting them. With a Roth account, on the other hand, you use post-tax money, so you pay your taxes right up front on the seeds themselves, which means no immediate tax deduction. But here's where the magic happens. Decades from now, it's finally time to reap the harvest. With that traditional account, every single dollar you withdraw, your original seeds, and all the growth, it gets taxed as regular income. The government takes a big bite out of your entire harvest. But with the Roth, because you already paid taxes on those little seeds way back when, that entire forest, every single dollar, all the growth is 100% yours. All of it, completely tax-free. Okay, let's talk about the 2026 rulebook, because every year the IRS updates the contribution limits. And you can just think of these as the new high scores you're trying to hit in this retirement savings game. So for 2026, the contribution limit for a 401k has been bumped up to $24,500. And just remember, that's your contribution limit. It doesn't matter if you choose a traditional 401k or a Roth 401k, assuming your job offers that option. Now for IRAs, both the traditional and the Roth, they share the same limit. And for 2026, that number is $7,500. That's a combined limit, by the way. You can't put $7,500 in both. I see you thinking about it. Nice try, though. And yeah, I know, you look at those big numbers, and it can definitely feel like you'll have to survive on basically nothing but instant ramen to get there. And maybe that's true for a little while, but really, it's about setting a goal and just building that savings habit. Okay, so we've covered the free money, we've covered the big tax battle. Now let's put it all together. It's time for a personal game plan for you. This is the if this, then that part of the show. This is it, isn't it? The million-dollar question. You get how it all works, but which path should you actually take? Once you've gotten that employer match, where do your extra savings dollars go? A traditional 401k? A Roth 401k? Or maybe you open up a Roth IRA on the side? The entire decision All of it really just hinges on you making one big strategic guess about your future. Do you think you're going to be earning more money later in life than you are right now? Or are you maybe at your peak earning years already? Put it another way. Do you think your tax rate in the future is going to be higher or lower than it is today? To make this really concrete, let's just look at two pretty common profiles. First, we have our early career pro, married with a household income of about $80,000. And then we've got our established pro, single, making $150,000. Let's break down the best move for each of them. So if you're like our 80K earner, you're sitting in a pretty low federal tax bracket, just 12%. It's a pretty safe bet that your income, and probably your tax bracket, is going to go up from here. So your best move? Pay the taxes now while your rate is super low. That means you should prioritize Roth contributions. You're basically locking in that low 12% rate for life, which means all your future growth is tax-free. It's a great deal. Now, what about our established pro? Making $150,000 puts you in the 24% tax bracket. And at that level, getting a tax deduction today is really, really valuable. You might be at or even near your peak earning years. So the smartest move here is to prioritize those traditional pre-tax contributions. That's going to lower your taxable income right now when getting that tax break helps you the most. And here is a super important little detail, especially for higher earners. As your income goes up, the government actually starts limiting your ability to contribute directly to a Roth IRA. For 2026, for a single person, that phase-out starts at a modified adjusted gross income, which is basically just your total income with a few things added back in, of $153,000. Our 150K earner is getting really close to that line, which makes that traditional 401k an even smarter, more straightforward choice.
So, if you forget everything else we talked about, just remember this 3-point cheat sheet. Number 1, always, always, always contribute enough to get your full employer match. It is the best deal in all of finance, period. Number 2, if you're in a low tax bracket today, you should probably be thinking Roth. Pay those taxes now while they're cheap. And number 3, if you're in a high tax bracket right now, the traditional account's immediate tax break is probably going to be your best friend.
And that's it. See? You're not lost in the alphabet soup anymore. You now have a clear framework to make a really smart choice for your future. And trust me on this one, future you is going to be very, very happy we had this talk.